Hello students, this video will explain the examination rules and regulations, the common mistakes and the penalties given. It is divided into 4 sections. The first section is the exam regulations. Please read it carefully. Firstly, the exam paper consists of 3 contents. Number 1, on the front page, it shows the exam version A, B, or C with rules and regulations. Number 2, it shows the exam question information, which consists of 40 multiple choice questions. Each question values 2.5 points and no points will be deducted for incorrect answers. Please note that the exam question format is not permanent and can be changed each semester. Number 3, the periodic table of elements is attached on the last page. Second, the examination time starts from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please be punctual and arrive 10 minutes before the exam start. Admission is not allowed 20 minutes after the exam begins. After 7:30 p.m., students may hand in your answer sheets and leave the examination hall. Third, please check your exam booklet for missing pages or blurry prints at the start of the exam. If you need to change your exam booklet, please notify the invigilator immediately. Next, Section 2 is providing personal information on the answer sheet accordingly. Please follow the rules stated or else the violators will receive penalties. On the top column, please write your class, name, and student ID in pen. On the bottom column, please mark your student ID with 2B pencil. Each row represents 1 digit of your student ID. The answer box should be filled with bold black and do not overfill outside the box. Erase your wrong answers completely using eraser and leave no traces in the box. If the box is marked too light or there are still traces of erased answers, the answer sheet reader may not detect it and you will not receive any scores. It is the student's own responsibility to ensure all of their boxes are marked. This is the example of a correct way to fill in and mark your personal information and exam version on the answer sheet. The third section is 7 common mistakes students make when fill in or mark the answer sheet. The first common mistake is the student use a pencil to write the class, name, and student ID in the top column. Make sure you are using a pen. Pencil is not allowed. The second common mistake is the student did not fill in the student ID in the top column. Please remember to fill in the student ID with a pen. Next, the third common mistake is the student marked more than 1 box in student ID marking field. Please be careful to not skip the fields, and only 1 mark can be made in each box with a 2B pencil. The fourth common mistake is the student forget to mark the version of exam paper. Please remember to mark the version correctly and use a 2B pencil. The fifth common mistake is the student ID in the top column and marking field are inconsistent. For example, the 8th number of the student ID should be 6, but it was marked at 5. Therefore, please ensure that the student ID in the top column and the marking field are consistent and marked with 2B pencil. The sixth common mistake is using pen instead of 2B pencil to mark the student ID and exam version. Please remember to mark the student ID and the exam version correctly using a 2B pencil. It is prohibited to use pen in this marking area. The last common mistake is correcting answers using correction fluid. Do not use correction fluid or other items to modify the answer sheet. Use an eraser to erase the wrongly marked answers instead. Lastly, Section 4 is about the common reasons for exam penalties. Number 1, 10 points will be deducted if you fail to provide your class, name, and student ID with pen. The answer sheet reader could not detect the boxes you fill in with 2B pencil. Number 2, 10 points will be deducted if the box for exam version is not marked. Number 3, 2 points will be deducted each time the noise from electronic devices such as your cell phone or your phone alarm rings. Please remember to switch off your phone and keep it in silent mode. Number 4, if you fail to provide your student ID during the exam but you rechecked the teaching assistant the next day after the exam, 5 points will be deducted, include with on-site pictures as proof. Number 5, if you did not bring any valid photo ID during the exam and you did not recheck with the teaching assistant the next day after the exam, your exam will not be scored. Number 6, if you still fail to provide a valid photo ID during the exam twice within a semester, but you rechecked with teaching assistant the next day after the exam, 10 points will be deducted, include with an on-site picture as proof. Number 7, you need to provide your student ID during the exam. However, if you did not bring your student ID, but you bring your driver's license or your identification or ARC card, no penalty will be given, include with an on-site picture as proof. If you require to recheck with teaching assistant, please bring your student ID the next day after the exam to room 707 of the Humanities building and find Miss Koo to verify your identity. Miss Koo is available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you for listening and good luck.